Hey friend, Rod Christopherson here again with another first listen review. And this is one that I actually didn't find out was coming out until just very recently. I guess I wasn't paying much attention, but I'm about to babble about Billy, and that's Billy Idol. We're talking about his new album, Dream Into It, which I actually just got a day early, so gave it a listen. It's actually really short. I'm surprised at how short this album was. Actually, it's clocked in right around 35 minutes, 9 songs, so wasn't a whole lot to listen to, quite honestly, as far as songs go. I was a little bit bummed about how short this was. It's actually just under 35 minutes, I'm a little closer. But, you know, nonetheless, I kind of dug into it and hoping for the best. And, I mean, I was actually kind of late to the game with Billy Idol when he first was on the scene and stuff. Wasn't really my thing, and it wasn't until like later on that I realized how good some of the songs actually really were. And I had to actually learn how to play some of these in a couple of the bands I was in, and I actually played guitar in this band, and I learned how good Steve Stevens actually really was, because some of the stuff was actually really tough to figure out, let alone play. So, you know, I kind of jumped on board, and he's had a couple albums just here and there that's some stuff's been really good, and some stuff just kind of left me like, nah. This one, I mean, I guess I'll just go through it kind of quickly, I guess, was somewhere in the middle. I mean, I've listened to it a couple times through now, and I got a good feel for it, and it's not at all what I expected. It's weird. I don't know how else to explain it. It starts out really mellow. Like, the funny part is it's the title track, it kicks in. It looks like it's got a whole bunch of extra songwriters on here. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people writing this song, and it's probably the least entertaining song on the whole album, quite honestly. It's kind of like this, I don't know, this electronic bed for Billy to sing very lightly over, and it doesn't really go anywhere, quite honestly. I was getting kind of worried listening to this one. I was kind of hoping that it was going to do something a little bit more than that, and then it really does. It kicks into track number 2, which is called 77, which is referring to the year 77, and it's got Avril Lavigne on it, and the lyrics kind of go back and forth about remembering things, and at first I was like, that's kind of strange, you know, that I don't even think she was alive in 77, as far as I know, so I thought that was an odd choice. But then I kind of realized it's kind of got 2 perspectives of remembering 2 different generations. So first listen, it kind of threw me off, but second listen, I kind of think I caught it anyway. But it's weird hearing this as a Billy Idol song, because this sounds like an Avril Lavigne song from the 90s. I don't know, doesn't sound anything like I would expect Billy to be singing. I mean, it's a decent song, but I also noticed that this is really where things, I really took notice of the production, where holy compression, like distorted vocals, you know, purposely distorted as the effect, with so much compression, it almost makes them not sound human at that point. You know, it's just not my taste in production at all. And that carries on actually into the next song, Too Much Fun, which is a decent song, but still the same thing, just so much vocal compression and effects that it just actually distracted me. And there's a lot going on in the song. It just, like little effects and stuff going on in the background, is actually, I found it more distracting than it added to the song. And it's too bad, because it's actually a decent song, but also this sounds like something like you would hear on the radio, like, you know, Jimmy Eats World or something like that, or, you know, one of those bands from, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know, it's just getting that vibe from it. Now finally, it takes a cool little twist on the song John Wayne, which is featuring Alison Mosshart, which I guess she sings for the band The Kills. I'm not familiar with her at all, but this song, probably my favorite one on the whole album, actually. It's written by Billy, Derek Sherinian of, you know, mainly probably known for Dream Theater, but in a million other projects, and then Brian Tichy, who's also been in a million other projects, who's a drummer, but he also, I think he plays guitars and sings in his band Ball, if I'm not mistaken. He's worked with Sass Jordan and stuff in one of their projects. I think it was called Sun or something like that. But anyway, that's actually a pretty cool album if I can remember the title right. But that was a really good album. It's been in White Snake, and I think he's been in Dead Daisies and stuff like that too. So cool people working on that song. But it's got a slightly little Western tinge to it, and it's hard to explain. It was actually really moody, but then the lyrics were kind of cool in that one. I actually really enjoyed that song. And then the one I was looking forward to the most, because I saw I had Joan Jett singing on it, I thought that'll be a cool little mashup. Really left me flat. It's the same thing with the production on it. Just so overproduced. Like every song on this album is actually very overproduced. I don't understand the choices that they made with that, but they did. And where Joan Jett is known for having that cool little attitude, and I think she's got a good voice. Not a super wide range, but I think she's got a cool, unique sounding voice. Just completely lost in the production. The song, this really kind of fell kind of flat, quite honestly. It's just a mid-tempo AOR type thing that didn't really go anywhere. So luckily it was short. So it seemed like a very missed opportunity there. However, the last 4 on here I noticed are all written by Billy and Steve Stevens and a couple other guys in the band. Tommy English, who looks like he did production on this album, so it's surprising that these actually sounded pretty good with that overproduction on the rest of them. And then Joe Janiak, who appears to have only done background vocals on this album, so I'm not really familiar with that name. But the last 4 on here sound more like the Billy Idol kind of that we're used to hearing, except the song "Give Me the Weight." I was getting, that song "Melt with You," like Modern English. I think I got that feel from that song for some reason, and it's kind of strange they chose to do this vocal a cappella intro to "I'm Your Hero," and it's strange only because the vocal part itself is not extremely strong. It's not a super hooky part, but when the music kicks in and they sing that part over the music mixed together, it sounds really cool. It actually gives this whole new vibe to it, and the two together sound really good. On its own, didn't really do much for me, so I thought that was a really strange choice. And then the last song on here, "Still Dancing," which I guess was released as a single, although I didn't hear it until today, had the most unique, kind of want to say, but more the Billy Idol we know. It actually gave me almost like a Rebel Yell type feel, not quite as aggressive as that. I mean, he is 69 at this point in his life. He's got a little bit more mellowed out. Still sounds like Billy singing all the songs. The attitude isn't quite there anymore. It's more, he's got the low register. He's not going for the big high notes, the screams or anything like that, like he did in his younger days. Obviously, probably wouldn't really expect that, but I thought the songwriting would be a little bit stronger on this. The production just left me kind of wondering why they chose to produce it this way. I don't know how to say it any nicer than that, but it was an okay listen. I'm not gonna, even though the production kind of drove me nuts, the songs were decent enough that it kept me entertained anyway. I might go back and listen to this one. I'm not for a little bit. I'm putting this one aside and then let it stew for a little bit and probably come back to it a little bit later, maybe listen to it a little bit fresher ears, knowing what it already sounds like, and maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. But as first listen, I don't know, it didn't really do it for me. So I'm kind of wishy-washy on this one, as you can probably tell. But anyway, if anybody out there has heard this, feel free to tell me what you think of it. Maybe tell me I'm way off base, whatever. Feel free, tell me I'm right on the mark, or I was too nice. I don't know, whatever you want to say. Welcome the comments. Just try to do it respectfully to each other. I've seen a couple things where it got a little out of hand, but other than that, for the most part, we're pretty cool here. It's like just friends just talking about music. That's all it is. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because I'd still like to hear what he's got in him. I'd really like to hear. He's always trying new stuff. This is probably something he was just trying. It took him several years. I was at 11, 12, 13, 14 years between the last album and this one. I don't really remember now, but it's been a while, so hopefully he doesn't wait quite that long for the next one. But until then, we'll see you.